You can be anyone and anything you want to be. Everything just takes time and every skill is learned over time. So, I mean, the best fighter in the world got punched in the face the most. Like, that's just the reality of the world. And if you want to be the best at something, then you got to go through and take those shots to learn those lessons to be able to become the man that you want to be. And I think fighting as a whole is the quickest way to learn. I mean, you get hit in the face and it hurts. So you got to adjust accordingly. You get kicked in the shin, it hurts, you gotta adjust accordingly. So, I mean, just those quick lessons and, understanding that when you're in the ring and you got eyes on you, you got people watching you, and everybody's it's all on you in that moment, that you can act and perform under pressure. I think that's a huge skill, a huge confidence booster for me. Anytime I walk into a room, I know that deep down, if something were to happen, I'm confident in the man that I am, that I can protect who I am and anybody I know and love.
Welcome into the Better Yourself podcast. I'm your host, Jared Harris, and I'm excited to have Nathan Walters here with us from boxing, MMA to insurance. So we have a fun one here, guys. Nathan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, Nathan, I'd love to dive into the story. When you graduated high school, did you go to college? Or are you not in college?
Yeah, so after high school, I didn't have a plan, and my parents' plan was if you didn't have a plan, you're going to college. So I ended up at a small Division 3 out in Ohio. I'm on my senior year now, just finishing off, and I'm gonna get that piece of paper from my parents.
There you go. That's awesome. What are you going to college for?
Just business. Just business is my major, and then I got a minor in entrepreneurship.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So business minor in entrepreneurship. When you think of that, how is that going to help you like moving forward in your like most immediate future? Like what impact do you think it has had for you so far?
Yeah, so I mean, to be completely transparent with you, I don't necessarily think college is needed for the career path that I needed to go down and the way that I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. But I definitely needed that time to figure out who I wanted to become and how to become that person. So that's definitely what I used my 4 years for, not necessarily learning and growing in the sense of school, but more so as just an individual and becoming the person that I need to be.
That's huge. And I am curious with the conversation coming out of high school of not knowing what you wanted to do. Was it kind of like your parents just saying, "Hey, pick any college, go to college," or what was that conversation initially like?
Yeah, so I was super against college. I knew that I wasn't going to use my degree for whatever career path I wanted to go down. I was very set on becoming a millionaire, and however that was going to happen, it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen. So that was my mindset going out of getting out of high school. And then right from there, I guess it kind of just shifted into, well, then, like, what's my next step? What's my next plan? And that's how I got into the insurance world as a whole. Was my grandfather reached out and said, well, hey, I know you don't want to do this college thing. I know you don't have any plans, but I made a good chunk of change doing this. So he got me into that route.
That's awesome. So your grandfather was in insurance when he got started.
Yeah. Yeah. He's had his license for 65 years now, I think.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, that's
Right.
amazing.
I
And
know.
then what do your parents do?
So my mom is a lactation specialist. She helps moms breastfeed. She created her own business. And then my dad is a Lutheran pastor. So he's got his own church a couple minutes away from our house, and we go to church on Sundays. Yep.
That's amazing. So, I mean, entrepreneurship really runs in the blood. Like grandfather, in insurance as an entrepreneur, mom runs her own business. Dad, I mean, being a pastor is kind of like running your own business as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely got that instilled in me from a young age, just understanding that you don't necessarily need to go down the 9 to 5 route and you can bet on yourself and it ends up paying off.
Absolutely. That's huge. Did you always like grow up believing that like, hey, I'm gonna be a millionaire, like have that entrepreneurship mindset? Or was there like a book or like an aha moment that really like fueled that drive for you?
Yeah, so I think the big thing for me was, I mean, once I got to college and kind of figured out, no one's coming to save you. I'm completely on my own. My mom did my laundry when I was in high school, and now I'm doing all that stuff on my own. No
Yeah.
one's prepping meals for me, no one's doing anything of that. And just kind of having that awakening of being in a dorm freshman year by myself and just being like, this is it.
Yeah.
I got to figure my shit out now.
That's awesome. And so being on this side of it now, I mean, you had mentioned that you're getting ready to graduate. Is that correct? This
Yep,
year,
yep,
last year?
I get that piece of paper in May.
That's exciting. That's super
Yeah.
exciting. So, someone that is maybe in that position, like starting off in, finishing up high school this year, kind of debating college, entrepreneurship. What words of wisdom do you have for that person that might be debating what they want to do?
I think the biggest thing is just understanding that you can fail at doing the thing that you do not want to do. That 9 to 5, that steady, safe job, that job that your parents want you to get, that job that you don't necessarily want in the back of your head, but you know it's a safe bet, has a solid salary, health benefits, whatever that may be, that job can go under. And you can get fired. That whole company as a whole can go under. And that has nothing to do with you. There's no control that you have over that. And you're screwed. And then you're back to the drawing board. So if you can fail at doing the thing you don't want to do, why not try to fail at the thing you wanna do, you know?
Ooh, that's a good one, Nathan. Why not fail at the thing that you want to do? Throwing some heat over here. I'd love that. So, um, going through college, obviously, what you're 21, 22 right now?
22, 22, yep.
22. And you got your insurance license at what age?
I got it when I was 19, so I've had it for a little over 2 years now.
Wow. Okay. So you got your insurance license at 19. Did you do anything entrepreneurial before you got into insurance?
For insurance, I was working valet. That was a big thing I was doing. I really liked tips, so all of high school, that was what I was doing, working the country club. I would get off of school at 2 and then go work from 2 to 12 and just rinse and repeat. It was all cash, all under the table, get paid that day. I really enjoyed that. So that was kind of my first step. Then I was like, "Oh, you can make a lot more money hourly on this valet tip stuff." And then kind of got introduced to the sales world. Had an opportunity to work high ticket, didn't end up taking it just because it was one of those recruitments where you'd have to pay for the course. And I wasn't necessarily feeling like I was the one to invest in myself at that time.
Yeah.
So ended up just kind of like doing my own thing until my grandfather kind of reached back with that life insurance, was like, "Hey, this is an opportunity for you, not forcing you to do anything, but worked for me."
Absolutely. And so your grandfather had mentioned it. You obviously got your license. How did you find your way into the space? Like, did you know someone that was already kind of in insurance and what that looked like?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a buddy from high school and he introduced me into the space. He was doing his thing, making good money. I'm like, what the heck is this guy doing? So I hit him up, got involved, got introduced to the whole team, what he was doing, and then started knocking doors from there.
Oh, you guys were knocking doors.
Yeah, so, we would be knocking doors. Our whole thing was, like, more rural areas, so that was kinda the big thing for me that brought me over to Unitrust was I was just door knocking. So, I mean,
Wow.
lead spend compared to, hotel expense, gas, and all that is night and day? So, I mean, you would easily spend at least a grand on a weekend if you're just going out working a couple days or even a week? And, that would be
Wow.
like if you're even crashing at your friend's house without hotel fees. That's just
Yeah.
just bare bones, sleeping in the car when you have to and just doing what you gotta do. And, did that for about a year and a half until I got introduced to Unitrust.
Wow. That's kind of wild. Uh, Do you have any crazy stories or any stories about door
Oh,
knocking?
yeah, I mean, I would knock on doors. I had a guy pull a shotgun on me. I'm like, "Hey, I'm just here regarding your life insurance policy, whatever. Get off my properties," in Pennsylvania, holding the shotgun. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I think it was literally
Wow.
like the 5th door I knocked ever in my life, and I was just like, I don't know." I called my friend, was like, "Hey, I don't is this normal? You deal with this kinda stuff?" Like, I didn't think that this was something I'd have to deal with. He's like, "No, don't worry, man. On to the next." That was the whole thing. On to the next. On to the next. All right. On to the next.
Oh my gosh. That's insane.
I know.
What was it like going in home and doing the door to door selling insurance? Like, what was that feeling like? Because I mean, I've only ever worked remote.
You walk up there, and if you're personable, charismatic, you have a good conversation, ask them how they're doing, beautiful home, stuff like that. People love it. And then you'd have great conversations, be able to talk about their policy, see if you could save them some money, and then go from there.
Wow. And so, how long would you say that you'd usually like spend in someone's home? Like, going up, having that whole process.
Yeah, I would probably be in the home for around 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Never wanted to be in there for over an hour, and I would try to get out pretty quickly.
Gotcha. And did you just like have neighborhoods that you would go and canvas or like?
Yeah, so we just had a big lead sheet, and we could pick between states. We had a bunch of different states we could choose from. It was like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, a lot of stuff down south. So there's Florida. all that, just, Texas and just kinda wherever. I mean, Chicago too. So it was just kinda wherever, and you could pick wherever you'd wanna work, and if there were leads there, then the upline would send them your way, and you'd go knock some doors.
Wow, so you'd go knock doors of, like, people that had already basically, like, opted in, asked for information, and then would go specific to their door. Would you ever, like, hit, like, their neighbors, things like that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Go knock next door and say, "Hey, I just, helped out Sherry and Steve next door, you guys have a life insurance policy you need looked at or whatever. I am the licensed agent in town, helping you guys out."
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just try to get something there.
That's crazy. Wow, so, while you were doing that, what were some of, like, your biggest months door knocking?
Door knocking, the thing was, I mean, you would write crazy policies and you'd write a lot of deals, but not much of it would stick. Clients weren't necessarily completely aware of the process and what you were doing with their policy. So yeah, you'd go in trying to save them money on a policy they currently had, and then you would rewrite. Obviously, not too proud of some of the business that I wrote back at that time of,
Yeah,
but yeah, you would go through, do that, and then try to save them money on their current policy. And the thing with that is you would get deals every day. I mean, I wouldn't work a day and not sell anything. Like that was a guarantee. If I'm working, I'm going to sell. It's just a matter of how much. And the problem is you're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what's going to stick, not necessarily like throwing it at the wall and knowing it's going to be there for a while. You're
yeah,
throwing it a bunch and hoping like three or four stay. So I mean, like most I did door knocking and profit would probably be around like 3 to 4 grand in a week.
okay,
Nothing crazy, but I
yeah.
mean, the other expense there was just being on the road. You gotta feed yourself on the road. It's not like you had a house you could go to and just cook. So that was really the big expense, and then hotels too.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of different expenses that go into that, and was it like a paper app, or was it like a digital app like we do now?
No, e-apps, yep, you just do digital apps in the home with them and go over it with the client.
Nice, awesome. And so then what, like, made you wanna make that transition from your practice company over into, Unitrust?
Yeah, so my friend got reached out to by Josh Crisp, and he reached out to him and was like, "Hey, would love to have you at Unitrust. We got a great system here, all that." So then I got sent over to there, and I got blessed by being direct to Josh.
Oh.
He's the man with everything. He knows the answers and he knows how to get shit done. But the problem is he is so far above me
Yeah,
that, I had to go in and just reach out to people myself. So a big thing I did was just get on Instagram. I saw people who were plugged into Unitrust. I saw Travis Blackburn. Huge shout out to Travis Blackburn. He helps me kind of like get my ball moving, and he doesn't make a penny off of me. So God
yeah,
bless him. Everybody here was just super helpful, plugging me into the system, getting me on the scripts, and just getting me on the daily training. I mean, any person I talked to, whether they were within my agency or not, if they had a different Zoom room, oh, here's my Zoom. If you're doing live dials, whatever, just come on in. And like right away, I was like, this is the place I'm supposed to be. Like, this is
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the huge benefits of Unitrust is there are no borders or walls or anything here. It's just you just have to ask, and as soon as you ask, you get help.
Absolutely, and everybody told me, like, everybody I reached out to, all the guys who are writing good, like, K, DK months, just printing money, they were all saying, "Oh, yeah, I did the same thing when I got here, so I gotta repay it." So, that's what I'm gonna do going forward. Anybody and anybody, if they need help with unit trust stuff, I'm your guy. Hit me up. I'll help any way I can.
That's awesome, Nathan. So, making that transition, obviously door knocking in person, lots of expenses, things like that. Coming into Unitrust, having, a set system, having support, having all of that. What has the day-to-day look like? Obviously, you're still in school, you're doing some things, but as far as when you get into insurance, how has that changed?
Yeah, so when I first got into unit trust, I was like, "Oh, I'm the top dog. I know how to sell anything. Could sell water to a well, like I'm the man." So I got here and started ripping crazy. I was buying only A and A1 leads because I'm just like, "Oh, dude, I'll spend 1,500 on leads. I just spent 2,000 on just gas and stuff over the last month." So I was just
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, this is easy. You're telling me you get a phone number, you get all your information for $30? Sold?" So I started ripping through that, quickly realized that was not the play. Like, whoa, I do not know what I'm doing. Was not profitable at first. And
yeah.
then just started getting on literally I just rip B's now and A1s. I work 2 to 3 days out of the week, if that. I write around 3 to 4 grand in AP every week, and if I don't want to work, I don't work.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. I'm in school right now, and that's my parents' first priority, so any chance I can just hop on the phones for a little. I mean, I probably work 12 hours a week, maybe. I don't work too much, so I really try to just when I am working, make sure I'm making my dials, rescheduling, like, not letting any leads slip through the crack, and really just making every penny count.
So working about 12 hours a week, making about 4 grand in AP a week, which breaking that down, what you're probably taking home 2, 3
Yeah,
grand?
2 to 3 at least. 2 to 3 at
Yeah.
least.
Okay. So, I mean, looking at it, 12 hours a week, profiting about 3 grand, you're making 12 grand a month, like 10 to 12 grand a month off 12 hours a week.
It's a good gig, man, I'm telling you. I've been trying to get all my friends at school, I'm like, "Hey, man, I just made $1,000 before art history class, like, you guys wanna hop on the phones?" Like, I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything different than anyone else, I'm literally just saying, "Hey."
Wow, that's insane, dude. Being in
Yeah,
college still, like, being able to do that, like, I mean, people working 40, 50 hours a week making, like, freaking 5, 600 bucks.
right?
Wow. Okay. And so, I mean, we talked a little bit about obviously you're crushing in insurance. You got school going on. You're getting ready to get the piece of paper and turn it into a lead form and
Yep.
get.
Yeah, right?
um, and we also talked about some extracurriculars. Like you did some MMA most recently. You went to Thailand. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so my dad got me into boxing when I was a young kid. I kind of just always fell in love with that whole sport, got really addicted to it, just saw how hard those guys worked. And I mean, the shape that everyone was in, I was like, This is awesome. This is the most badass thing a man could do. It's just go to battle toe to toe with another man. So, got into that, got super addicted. I did jujitsu for a while and then got into Muay Thai. I ended up living in Thailand for 6 months just last year, was training over there, had professional fights, and really just got addicted to the whole scene. I was in, I've been in a fraternity since freshman year in college, and everybody would always go out drinking, partying. You're in college, everybody's going to be going out doing dumb stuff. And just a beautiful excuse is, hey, I'm going to go to training. And they say, "Well, what do you do?" "Oh, I train MMA." Everyone goes, "Well, it's kinda sick. What are you just gonna go fight some people?" "Yeah, I'm just gonna go spar for an hour." "Alright, yeah,
Yeah.
go do your thing." So every night, 7 p.m., I would just go train, and it kept me out of trouble, it kept me in a great shape, my mental was incredible, and it just kept me in the right direction, I think, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some like lessons that you've learned just through, those disciplines?
You can be anyone in anything you want to be. Everything just takes time and every skill is learned over time. So, I mean, the best fighter in the world got punched in the face the most. Like, that's just the reality of the world. And if you want to be the best at something, then you got to go through and take those shots to learn those lessons to be able to become the man that you want to be. And I think fighting as a whole is the quickest way to learn. I mean, you get hit in the face and it hurts. So you got to adjust accordingly. You get kicked in the shin, it hurts, you gotta adjust accordingly. So, I mean, just those quick lessons and understanding that when you're in the ring and you got eyes on you, you got people watching you, and everybody's, it's all on you in that moment, that you can act and perform under pressure. I think that's a huge skill, a huge confidence booster for me. Anytime I walk into a room, I know that deep down, if something were to happen, I'm confident in the man that I am, that I can protect who I am and anybody I know and love. You know what I mean? Just a huge confidence booster and just overall great life lessons.
Wow. Yeah, that's the discipline, being able to have that confidence and the ability. I mean, they say be a dangerous man, that way you don't have to use the danger, but be that man, that way then you can protect, which
It's
is
that Joe
incredible.
Rogan quote, "You'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener at war."
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's amazing. And going through the discipline and being able to become that warrior, how do you feel like that has transitioned into like your profession, being in insurance, being able to stay disciplined? Even, you had talked about, utilizing it if people want to go out and party and do things like that. You're like, hey, I got training at this time. How do you feel like all of that has kind of like benefited you into more of like the workspace and being able to allow you to make, that money with such short amount of time?
Yeah, I think the big thing is just, delaying gratification and making sacrifices that you know you need to make, I mean, I'm not necessarily being like, "Oh, yeah," like, obviously, going out on a Friday would be way more fun than waking up at 8 AM on Saturday and ripping the phones from 9 to 1, you know what I mean? Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not the most glorious place to be. Like, obviously, I love it when I'm talking to Miss Betty and we're just chopping it up and she tells me about her cat, I love those conversations, but it is a grind, and, just being able to sacrifice those small moments or go to bed at a decent hour, making sure that you're not staying up till 1, 2 a.m. and expecting to wake up at 8 and be locked in on the phones. That's just not a world where that's gonna work,
Yeah.
and just being able to be, confident in making your correct choices for you and your path and your schedule for the next day.
That's huge. Okay. What do you feel like, you get your degree in May, and what's like next for you? Like, what do you feel like is throughout the summer and being able to move forward from?
Yeah, so next for me is I gotta go ahead and get an apartment. I've been saving up for an apartment, so that's my first step, go get my own spot, and then keep up with the insurance gig. I mean, obviously, I won't work 12 hours a week when I'm in full-time position. I'm hoping to be working a lot more, making a lot more. So, that's definitely the goal, but schedule-wise, I got my girlfriend back in, Michigan, so she's got another year of college, and then we'll be able to go and do whatever we wanna do. So I think the plan is to try to end up in Florida. That's the goal.
Yep, there you go. Do you know what area of Florida that you're looking at?
Just Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, just kinda, like, around. I know a lot of people from Unitrust are over there, so I was just trying to get myself into that kinda circle, into that community.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. And so being in college, making this type of money, are you still living at home right now?
Yep, yep. Right now, I mean, I'm still at my so I go to school in Ohio, and then I live in Michigan. So, I mean, I'm in my own house in Ohio and then go back and forth. So, for spring break in March, for the first 2 weeks of March, I'll be at my house dialing.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And so with I mean, what are some things like, I mean, in college, making good money, what do you do? Are you like just saving up and being able
Yeah, I
to
mean, I'm not spending anything. A big thing for me is, like, I love my parents. My parents said, "You can live in this house for as long as you want," but I know that when I am alone and I am by myself and I have pressure on myself, like a rent to pay or something like that, that I perform better. So that's my first goal, is just get out of that house. Get out of that house. I know that I'll be successful when I get out, and then just keep the ball moving. I mean, obviously, I'm not spending anything right now. College, I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, so I got nothing to spend money on other than leads. Like, there's really not too much for me to be, really going out and doing much. I kinda got lucky with that.
Yeah. I mean, you're setting yourself up. I mean,
It took a while, don't get me wrong. I definitely had my ups and downs.
yeah, of course. So obviously there's two parts of this business, Nathan. There's the writing business, which, it sounds like you're crushing it. As far as like the building side, have you started building a team yet? Is it something that you've been working on doing?
Yeah, so building side is what I'm working on now. I'm trying to just all the time that I don't spend dialing, I'm trying to recruit. My main goal for sure is in like 2 to 3 years, I don't wanna write any business at all. I want my whole team to be writing. I wanna be helping people. I wanna be coaching people, and that's definitely my big goal. So right now, I mean, I got, I think, like 10 people under me, only 2 of them are licensed. So, I mean, I've just been using, Unitrust has a beautiful Unitrust recruiting system, it's called URS, and they'll put 10 people in your schedule every week for free. So, I mean, I found a couple good people in there, got people to pass already, and, yeah, I had one dude sell his first policy last week, so that was pretty exciting.
That's amazing. Heck yeah. So the process has started, which is incredible. And when looking at growing your team, what type of person are you looking for?
For me, the big thing is, like, during the recruiting script, there's a portion of it where they talk about the lead spend and investing in leads. And right away, I kind of just skip the whole, like, I'll do a brief, hey, do you understand, like, what this is, what we are, and what we do? And give them a brief, like, synopsis of Unitrust as a whole. And then I go straight into the lead questions, understand the leads, understand that, hey, you are going to be a salesman, you are going to be owning your own business, and you are going to have to invest in leads. So, if right off rip, if you think, oh, this is sketchy, this is weird, this is pyramid schemy, we're out. I'm not doing that. I'm not wasting my time. Jerome Harris from Key and Frost team, he told me you should want to work with Nathan. And if you don't want to work with Nathan, then you're not I don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to sell a thing. I have a beautiful opportunity and a great chance for somebody to come on board. And if they want to do so, then that's their loss. So I've been definitely just trying to keep that mindset and just really harping on the leads. So if somebody's not willing to spend money on leads and they think that's suspicious or pyramid schemey, the first thing I always say and first thing I always think of is every 9 to 5 is a pyramid scheme. You know, I mean, when you really think about it, you go to work for 12 hours and the CEO is making 100x than what you're making. Everybody at Unit Trust has the chance to make the same amount of money, given a couple percent with your comp, like 10 max.
Yeah.
So you really do just have endless opportunity here. And if you can't see that and you just want to look at the negatives, then it's on to the next person for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's huge. And so with the leads, how much would you say that you spend per week on leads for the profit that you're making?
This month, I have spent absolutely $0. I'm literally just going through old leads. So, I mean, this month I've done 10K AP and I got one more pending today. So hopefully that one goes through. See if you get approved, but see how that one goes. Yeah, so around like 10K APV, I didn't spend a dime on any leads this whole month. I'm just working through old stuff that I had that either told me like call you later or no shows, ghosted appointments. But I mean, typically, like as a general whole, I'll go in, spend anywhere from like I'll spend $500 on leads, work them for 2 weeks, and I'll turn that into like 8 APV if I work it every day for 2 weeks for sure.
Like 500 to 8 grand.
Yeah,
So when you're thinking about, hey, I don't know if I want to spend money on leads, I'm really wanting to make any money.
right. And that's where I'm just like, yeah, I can't convince you, if you don't
Yeah.
have the balls to invest in yourself and try to be the person you want to be, then I can't convince you to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I always laugh at that when they're like, "Yeah, I want to be a business owner. Yeah, I want to be in this industry." And it's like, okay, well, every business has to spend money on marketing. Like, I
Yeah, no business is successful in the first year. They're just not. It's like you're in negative.
yep,
I mean, people just not even opening their eyes to that. It's just like, yep, nope, I'm not entertaining it. I'm not here to sell you anything. If you don't want to be on board, then that's your loss.
yeah, absolutely. Well, Nathan, for our viewers, do you have any like last minute advice or any closing words of wisdom?
But yeah, I think my big thing is just I got lucky being in a household where parents told me like I could be and do anything. I know that's not the case for everyone. And I just really want to emphasize to everyone out there. I mean, you can be and do anything that you want to do. I mean, I'm from Ohio. I went to school in Michigan, and I lived 6 months in Thailand and fought professionally. There's no way those two things should be correlated. And now I'm selling life insurance. You can do anything you want to do. You just have to put your mind out and do it and do the steps that need to be able to make that dream a reality.
Wow, I appreciate that so much, Nathan. And if someone wants to join your team, how do they reach out to you?
My Instagram is Nathan E. Walters. So just reach me out on there. I got a link in my bio. So if you want to book a call, just book a call there and we'll hop on the phone.
Perfect. And I'll link that down below in the description as well. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us and being able to share your awesome story. And I'm excited to see your success moving forward. And for all of the viewers, I thank you for your time. And if you guys are just wanting to continue your education, learn more about life insurance, understand the good and the bad in the industry, just keep on watching the next video, keep educating yourself, and make sure that you fully understand what you're doing. If you guys are interested in being able to come look more into unit trust, feel free hit up Nathan and be able to just get an inside look at what we do here. And thank you so much for you guys' time.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Absolutely.